Alright, so it's your favorite Toxic Sonic tuber here to bring you guys the information, you know, the biggest Classic Sonic hater in the world, of course. So here we go. It turns out, thanks to this German Twitter account called spin-_de, obviously paraphrasing because it's translated, but they are releasing a collector's edition of Team Sonic Racing for the 8th of November 2019. Now, why is this an issue? Okay, so what does the collector's edition add? Well, the only thing that we can see so far is that it's a PS4 exclusive and that it contains a statue of Classic Sonic, you know, a character that's not in the game. But of course, Classic Sonic sells, right? He was in Mania, you know, that sold, right? They put him in the Olympic Games, which probably overreacting, you know, stop hating on Classic Sonic, you know, even though I don't, but it's cool. So why would they add that to the collector's edition of Team Sonic Racing when Classic Sonic's not even playable in the game? Did they add a modern Sonic statue to the Sonic Mania collector's edition? Which I have, by the way, since I'm such a Classic Sonic hater, but you know what, it's cool. Now let me tell you why they did this. Because one, Classic Sonic sells, and two, because laziness. Instead of thinking, you know, our game isn't selling as much as Crash Team Racing, why don't we, you know, add some more content, like some new tracks that entice people to play the game, you know, maybe add some modes, or, you know, get some harder modes and increase the track design quality so that people are more likely to replay it, or, you know, fix the online, you know, something like that. You know, if you want to try and compete with CTR, which you're really not at this point, your option was to just add in a Classic Sonic statue, because, you know, shoving that into Modern Sonic games is a solution for everything Modern Sonic, right? And hopefully that will sell it more. Some people have already noticed that the statue that was in that tweet is basically from another Classic Sonic set of statues. So the reason why I said laziness is one of the points is probably because they had some leftover stock from that Classic Sonic statue. They're like, how do we get rid of this stock? We'll just add it to Team Sonic Racing, call it a collector's edition, and motherfuckers will just buy it. And here we are. Now, if we were in an era where we didn't separate Classic and Modern Sonic, like a pre-gens era, maybe this wouldn't be such a big deal, but this just goes back to the perpetual treating of Modern Sonic like the secondary child and treating Classic Sonic like the favorite child. Classic Sonic is not the problem. It's not Classic Sonic himself. That's why I keep saying I don't hate Classic Sonic. Classic Sonic is like that brother who hasn't done anything wrong, but is like the favorite child amongst the parents, and the parents like glorify every little thing he does and chastise every little thing you do, saying you're modern, obviously, in this scenario. And it's like, he himself is not bad. No one hates him. Like, he is a decent guy. He's your bro, he's cool. But the parents are pedestalizing everything he does and giving him all the spotlight for everything. And it's like, no matter what he says, doesn't matter. You are always going to be the secondary citizen in this scenario. And if you want your thing to look good, he has to be in it. That's essentially all it is. It's not about Classic Sonic himself, you know. The reason why I wasn't mad that Mario was in the Olympic Games in 2D was because they fed 2D fans with Super Mario Maker, Super Mario Maker 2, and then they fed 3D fans with Odyssey. Yes, there was a little bit of 2D on Odyssey, but that was barely even 10%, so we're not even going to sit here and pretend Odyssey wasn't a fully fledged 3D game. So with Sonic, they fed 2D with Mania, and then they fed 2D with Forces, with minimal 3D, and when there was 3D, it was so basic and so simple, so linear, so scripted, that basically felt like I was just, instead of going right, I was going forward. So here we are. Once again, I do not hate Classic Sonic, but this is part of the problem. Why is adding Classic Sonic even an option for Team Sonic Racing instead of actually fixing the game? This is why I don't play it anymore. Subscribe to the Non-Sonic channel, link in the description. If you miss Prem sounding enthusiastic about things and you don't want him to sound depressed about everything, then subscribe to the channel where he's not talking about Sonic. That's all I have to say for you. It's your boy. Sorry, that's the wrong outro. That's all I gotta say right now. So, the Remy out.